Hello everyone and welcome back to Did Somebody Say Retro, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to build your very own Game Boy. So if you've come along to this video because you've bought one of these 10 Build Your Own Game Boy kits that I've put together, then I just want to say right now thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure you're going to have as much fun building your Game Boy as I did when I first built mine. And if you've come along because you just wanted to learn how to refurbish a Game Boy or to build a Game Boy because you've got one in parts, or you just want to see what one looks like when it's all stripped and enjoy the video of it being made, then this is the place to be. And this is my step-by-step guide of how to build your very own Game Boy Advance. So if you haven't seen the announcement video which I put up yesterday, then I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank again my sister at Lovely in Letters. So if you type it on Instagram, Lovely in Letters, she put together the stickers that you can see here for all of this, and also all the doodles and that card and the stickers that go on top of the box as well. She put all of those together, and I just want to say thanks, Corinne. It really means a lot, and you've done an amazing job. And thanks again to Deadpan Robot and Vintage Gamer. Everybody that bought one of these 10 kits got 10% off at deadpanrobot.co.uk, and also at Vintage Gamer. You can find those guys on Facebook. So with my sister's page and these two guys' pages, I'm going to put links in the description for you to check those out. So thanks guys, really means a lot. And if you haven't bought one of these kits and there's still some available, there's also a link in the description to go to my big cartel store to pick one up for yourself. So all you need to do now is grab a cup of tea, obviously, or a coffee, whatever you prefer. Get your kit, get that out on the table, and then join me now as we go step by step into how to build your own Game Boy. Okay then, let's begin. So first of all, we're just going to open up the box. And you don't need a craft knife. You can use whatever you normally use to open up the box, but just be careful, don't cut too deep into it. I've put some protective tissue there as well, just to be safe, but yeah, don't cut too deep into the box. And just to let you guys know before we start that this box will be exactly the same as yours. The only difference is two little coupon cards. So one of them is for Vintage Gamer, so if you want to get some Game Boy games after you've put this together, then you can go through to them, and instructions on there of what to do to get your 10% off there. And another one is for deadpanrobot.co.uk. You've got a discount voucher in there, a coupon code, so that you can get 10% off your first order with those guys, should you decide that you want to change the buttons or the lens or the shell or anything like that. You can get 10% off your first order. So yeah, thanks Deadpan, and thank you Vintage Gamer. So we'll just start off by having a look what's inside. And as you'll see at first, there's a couple of business cards. This one's for me and this one's for my sister. My sister put together all of the stickers and the doodles and this beautiful little card here. She did everything there. So yeah, thanks Corinne. That's at Lovely in Letters. If you want anything personalised, just get at my sister for that. That's at Lovely in Letters. So thank you Corinne. And the card, absolutely over the moon with this. Is exactly what I wanted. She's done all these doodles herself, and I've wrote something up for you guys as well in there, so you can read that in your box. And yeah, it's just a little thank you and just letting you know why I did this. And you know, I just wanted to share the joys of putting together a Game Boy, just to show you guys how much fun I had when I first did mine. So thanks again Corinne, that's it's amazing. And then of course we have the batteries, proper ones as well, so not your cheap stuff. Then the first thing that's in here is the shell kit. So you've got everything in there. You've got the screwdrivers as well. You've got the shell, the buttons, the silicone buttons, the sticker for the back, the plastic lens. Got all your little bits and pieces in there. And then what else have we got? We've got the board. Everything's in there in one piece. That's all the insides of the Game Boy Advance. And yeah, everything's been checked and cleaned. Every function's been checked. It reads games well, and yeah, so that's all good to go. And then we have the screen inside here as well. So I've just put together these little boxes, and again, they've all got the doodles on the same that's on the card there, and the screen that you need is in there. And last but not least, with this first 10, I've also added in a sealed worm light. So you can put this into the top of your Game Boy, just like that, and that will mean that you can play it in the dark. So yeah, there you go. That's everything. So here we are now, we've got everything out ready, so we can begin to build. So let's just get everything opened up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the front of the shell, just take the buttons off there. And if you want to, if you haven't already, you can use some of this tissue and you can put everything on there just to make sure you don't get any scratches or anything like that. So we'll just start off by putting in the buttons for this little bag here and this little bag here. We're just going to put these in. So just make sure when you're putting in the buttons that when you put the silicone pads on top as well, there's little holes there, and that's where they need to go. The B and the A buttons have a different, they've got different like pegs in there, so you can't get those mixed up. So just make sure when you put the silicone pads on that you just make sure that the holes go into the right holes there. The other one is the battery. There's like a little kind of little transparent battery thing that you put in there for the light. And then yeah, this one has to go on that side because when you've put the Game Boy together, that's where you can put like a little tie, so you can, you know, sometimes you can have like an accessory where it goes around your hand so that you don't drop it or whatever. But yeah, that'll go on that side. You don't need to put this power button in just yet. We'll leave that one out. So the next thing to do is to put in the screen. Now with the screens, I've put some brand new adhesive tape on there. So I've put some little pulls on here. They're only like tiny stickers, but that's going to help you be able to get this strip off there so that we can stick this screen into the shell. So let's just take these strips off, and don't worry if it peels it off the screen a bit. You can just get the screwdriver, just hold it down as you peel it off. There you go. You haven't got to do it very, very hard, just nice and gentle. There you go. So that's ready to fit. So what you want to do is you want to push it right up to the top in there. Right up to the top. Shouldn't have any movement left and right anyway. So you just want to put it right up to the top there. And then just slowly bring it down. That's caught just there, that's fine. Just pull that back out and put it back in again. And that's in. So the screen's in. So now we're just going to put the board on. So here's the front. The screen's going to sit here eventually. The worm light's going to go in there, and you've got the triggers, that's where the D-pad goes, A and B buttons, start select. There's your speaker. Then on the back, that's where the game cartridge goes in. Then you've got the volume wheel there, headphone jack, and your on and off buttons just there. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this ribbon cable for the screen into here. So just bear in mind that these pins here need to be out. So if for any reason they were in like that, don't worry. Just get your nail and just pop each bit out, each side out, just very carefully. Just don't be too heavy-handed, and you're good to go. So just pop that ribbon cable in there. Let it go in all the way. Once it's in all the way, just pop those pins back down. You might find this a little tricky, you might not. It's not too bad. It's just fiddly, that's all. But you can do it. There you go. So that's in. So now just double check before you do this that, because obviously the buttons and stuff are in there. You need to just make sure, because it's when it goes down, it presses them back out again. Look. So just make sure that these are in. That those little pegs are sticking through the holes. So now you just need to drop that down. You can, there's a little pin, not a pin, like a little, well, I suppose you could call it a pin. Don't know if you can see that in there where the speaker is. That just needs to sit in its hole inside the shell. You just move it across till it drops in. There you go. There you go. So now we're going to get the screws, and there's two sizes of screws. 6 large screws. So put those to one side. And then there's 4 small. One of those 4 there, and these 3 here. So these 3 are for the board. So what you're going to need is the Postage drive screwdriver, which is the star shape. So you've got a tri-wing and a Postage drive. Just going to take that screw, and there's 3 holes here. They've got another outline around them. So I just put the screw in there, and then tighten it, just bit by bit. You don't have to be very hard with that either. And once it's caught, you know, once it's in there and you can feel it's pretty tight, then it's done. You don't want to do it. You don't want to overdo it, because a couple of reasons. You might damage the top of the screw. You might take the head out of it. Also, is if you tighten it too much, you may end up with like a, you may see it come through a little bit on the other side. The screw won't poke through, but if you tighten it too much into the plastic, it might make a mark on the other side. So, now that those are in, we'll get that power button on there. Make sure that it sits in there just like that. You should see. Just make sure it sits in there. There's a little gap on the actual power switch, and it just slots on that, in that gap there. So now that that bit's done, just make sure you're happy with these. The bumpers and everything are sitting in there okay. There you go, should be sitting in there like that. So now what we're going to do is just take the battery cover off, and just double checking that that's all the way down, which it is. So that can, you can, if you wanted to, for any reason, take that out, but just make sure that it's all the way down. It usually is, so don't worry too much. So now we're just going to pop this on. So that's just clipped on like that. There you go. So let's get the screws in. So keep that one to the side still. Let's get these in. So these 6 long screws, the tri-wing screwdriver you're going to use for that. So there's 2 at the top, so we'll get those in first. As I said again, don't overdo screwing these in. Just do it enough. So there's 2 there, and you've got 2 here as well. Just get those in. Sometimes they need a bit of a wiggle. And then the other 2, just there and there. So that's where the other 2 big ones go. The last one is this one, and we go back to the star shape, the Postage drive. Let's put that one just at the bottom of the battery compartment. So if you're happy with that, turn your Game Boy round. Looks really cool, doesn't it, that? So everything's where it should be. All the buttons feel absolutely sound. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to put the lens on and the sticker as well. So what I just want you to do first is just make sure there's no dust on there. So sometimes you can just use a little, you can just literally just have a little blow into it like that. If it's not enough and it doesn't all come off, just get like a dust cloth or something like that, you know, one that's not got dust on it already, obviously, just one that's clean, and just lightly take the dust off there. But if you happen to have some air duster, like a can of compressed air, you can use that to spray that off as well. So just do that bit first. Make sure that the screen has got no little specks on it or no dust on it whatsoever, and then we'll get the lens on. So now we're at this stage, we just need to take the lens, just in case there's any dust, just open it out of the way. That's the back piece done, so just get rid of that. And then let's get this lens on. So it's pretty straightforward, this bit. It should fit in there just right. So just drop that down. Shouldn't really need to move it or anything like that. Just press the edges down like that. Make sure you've got those down. Don't press too hard again, just in case. Don't want to damage it now. And let's just put this sticker on first. So you'll see on there that there's already like a guide, you know, there's already a slot for that to sit in. It's super sticky, so just give it like a little tiny border all the way around, and then you should be fine, really. Just drop it down from one side. Just have a look at it from above, just make sure, yeah, that looks like it's going to sit in there nice. And then just bit by bit, just drop it down more and more and more. And there you go, when you're happy with it, then you just rub the top of it, and then that's done. So let's put the batteries in. Let's get rid of this rubbish as well. Get those batteries in. Pop that back on there. And let's take this off. So you just need to pick at the film in the corner. Doesn't matter what corner, just pick at it. Not too much. You should just get it on the side. This is the best bit. I like this bit. So there you go. Look at that. Love that bit. It's got my grubby little fingers on in the corner there. So just take that off. Because it's plastic as well, don't rub the screen much, like at all really, because you might end up damaging it. But once you've taken off the film, as long as you look after it, it should stay in really good condition. So you've just built your own Game Boy. So well done. There's only one thing left to do, and that's to put in the worm light. So let's get the worm light. So rather than open up a brand new one, I'm just going to use one that I've already opened. You'll all have a different colour. You might even have this colour actually, but they're all like assorted colours. So all you do is you just put that in there. You just bring the worm light over here. And all that's left to do is turn it up and turn it on. There you go. Worm light working perfectly well. So you can now play it in the dark. And that's it. It's all done. So that's it everybody. Well done. You've just built your first ever Game Boy. And thank you so much to everybody that bought one of these kits. It really means a lot. It's a project that I've been working on for a little while, and I've put a lot of time into it because I want to get it absolutely right. And yeah, I'm super happy with this. And you know what? If you came along and watched this video and you didn't buy one of the kits, but you just wanted to know how to build a Game Boy or refurbish a Game Boy, then thank you very much as well for coming over and having a look and letting me talk you through the whole process. So enjoy your Game Boy everybody, and thank you very much. And there you go, you've just built your very own Game Boy. And how does that feel? It feels good, doesn't it? And the reason why I got clear shells as well is so you can still see all of the bits and pieces that are inside. So all you need to do now, if you haven't got any games already, just treat yourself to a new game at Vintage Gamer. Or if you fancy opening it up again and changing some of the parts, maybe putting some different coloured buttons in or something, then just head over to Deadpan Robot, and remember you got 10% off both of those stores. And if you want anything customizing by my incredibly talented sister, then just head over to Lovely in Letters on Instagram, and as I said at the start of the video, the link's in the description. And I know I've said it already, but thank you to every single one of you guys that's bought one of these kits. It's absolutely made my year. It hasn't made my day, it's made my year. And if you know me already, I'm always thinking, so I've got a few more ideas up there. So all of the money that I make on this project is going to be pumped back into the business to work on the next one, all on the same one. So I'd love some feedback off you guys. If you want to see a different model of Game Boy, or if you want to just see these ones out again, then please just let me know in the comments box below. And that's it from me today. And as always, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you really want to help me out, just click that bell icon to receive all notifications. So stay safe everybody, and I'll see you next week for another video.